morning. You have reached past the B and welcome to the Sunday Ride, where it is never too early to pass the collection plate around. And we are joined this morning. Good morning, fellas. We are joined by Gentleman Jack, the Midnight Rider, and the show's host, the big guy KG. Big guy, I want you to pull out the 24 karat gold collection plate we got for this Sunday morning service, sir. Come on. Specially plated. Pass that thing around, baby. Because we doing a Sunday rise. Come on, y'all gotta get. I got a little bit of energy. I ain't been on in a week.
You do.
Just a little bit.
Fellas, 24 karat gold collection plate wouldn't have made it around most churches.
Yeah. It got 24 karat, got special slots for each coin and each dollar bill.
Oh man.
Yeah. It got a slot for $1 bills, $5 bills, $20 bills, and if you put a 50 in it or 100, you get a little chime from it, like let you know that you special. We got it.
Man, I'm like Denzel Washington. I'm leaving here with something. Sam, Sam was partying with us last night. Sam continuing the parties. Hallelujah on that thing.
Hey, man.
How y'all fellas feeling this morning?
Good, man.
Oh, man.
Hey, you see how I'm feeling.
Make sure you got the YouTube come through because I ain't see it yet.
Yeah, YouTube's up. I'm on it.
You on it?
There we go.
Okay.
Hallelujah on that thing. Where y'all want to start at, man? Let's start. Matter of fact, let's start. NBA free agency. Free agency opens tomorrow. A lot of people opting in, a lot of people opting out. Big news so far is LBJ opting out of his contract with the Lakers. Not really big news, but it's big news. Midnight Rider, what you gonna do?
That's just so he can turn around and sign either a 2 or 3 year deal with more money. That's all that is. This is where we have the fun part of the all season because you got a lot of guys that should be picking up their player option if they have one because they're not going to get that money on the free market. So go ahead and just re-up with that team and see if you can get traded or something else. But it's that time of year. Free agency is here. I think this is the time when the NBA has to put the pedal down and go full throttle because nothing is happening right now. Like the NBA can carry the season. NFL teams aren't even around, like even working out. So you don't have anything to worry about getting pushed off the top pedestal and being in the A block. I think they should have a full-fledged focus to trying to blitz us with as much news as they can these next 3 days.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. Like you got to take advantage of the situation, and you got some big names opting out, some big moves trying to happen with the whole Paul George. I refuse to call him any nickname until he actually shows up in the playoffs. So he's Paul George.
Patty, baby.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, man. Here's what I don't understand. I'll throw this around the panel. I don't the rumor, one of the free agency rumors, I don't know if it's free agency, but there's reports that Golden State and Clay have bad blood. And I just don't understand. It can only be bad blood on one side. And that's Clay to Golden State. Maybe because they don't believe in him no more and stuff. But we talk about on this show all the time. This is a business, and you have to do what's best for your team. And if they had Paul George last year instead of Klay Thompson, they probably not won a championship or anything, but they probably been way more efficient than what they are. The fall off of Klay Thompson has to be studied scientifically to figure out what happened to this guy because it's almost painful to watch him play basketball. So with that being said, I don't get, if you're a realistic person and you're thinking, I don't get why Klay Thompson has bad blood. We cannot offer you this type of money after the performance you put on the last season. Like it can't happen. You're getting up there, and it's not like he's 26 and he's coming back, and he's gonna rehab this summer and be better than ever. I just want to get y'all thoughts on it. Am I tripping, or like what's going on with Golden State and Klay Thompson? If you're the Golden State, give me both sides. If you're Golden State, what do? Are you giving him the benefit of the doubt, and then give me Klay Thompson's side too? I just want to hear it because I'm going crazy.
That's all you do is you like, hey Klay, the door's over there. Don't let it hit you when you walk out. Thanks for your time. It's that simple, man. I mean, he was 0-for-11 in their last game. It's just, I think the problem for Klay was he had those 2 serious injuries in back-to-back seasons and had to come back from both of them. And when you have to do that, sometimes you lose it at the end. Like this is the LeBron we should be seeing. We should be seeing like LeBron fall off, and for some reason this dude hasn't. I don't know if he got something extra in his Cocoa Puffs or what, but there's a time when Father Time wins, and Father Time then hit the bell, ding ding, on Klay Thompson. I'm sorry.
Don't even know the man's name.
But unfortunately, he's correct. I mean, Klay's been over there, I believe, 12 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time to be with one franchise nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's lost a little bounce in his jumper, and that comes with age. So I don't see why he's got the bad blood with Golden State, man. I think they've treated you right for 12 and a half or 11 and a half years. They just put you on the bench and had you coming in off the bench, and I think that hurt his feelings a little bit. I don't think Klay wants to go be a sharpshooter for another team. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what kind of money generates.
Well, word on the street is the reason why LeBron decided to take to opt out is to be able to take less money to sign a Klay Thompson, James Harden, whoever. That's what the word is. I'm not saying it's true, but that's the word is. Now, if you think about it, how many players have reinvented themselves? And I'm saying this from the Klay Thompson aspect. After an injury, they reinvent themselves and they become a more dynamic player in another area, I should say. But they have like a second career. They have a resurgence. If we're all on this panel old enough to remember, and I'm sure a lot of people listening, you remember Jesus Shuttlesworth, early Ray Allen. Hey, Ray Allen could take you to the lane, bang on you. He was catching oops off the wing. But later in his career, he turned into Craig Hodges. He was a spot-up shooter.
Yep.
And, I know for a fact, Klay wasn't the banger. He wasn't, but he can turn into your corner 3 specialist. He can turn into your 3-point, and he can give you 20 off the bench. He can be your Vinny Microwave Johnson. So
I just want to bring up one dynamic, and this is the argument when you talk about Kevin Durant going to Golden State. When you have one of the greatest shooters, the grace of the planet, standing beside you, it's easy to be a corner and spot up specialist. Like, let's not pretend Klay is this athletic god. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has Steph Curry on the team. The attention is on Steph Curry. You better make whatever you got open because you're going to be open. And if I'm a team, I think the best place for Klay is a contender coming off the bench. There's no starting role. Like if he goes to Dallas, he's coming off the bench. If he goes to the Pelicans, he's coming off the bench. Like I just don't see a scenario. And unfortunately, the only scenario would be like the Wizards, because that's what they do. He would be starting here, and they will probably have a statue of him outside at the end of the season. Because that's what the Wizards do. But I just do not see a scenario where he's starting. I just don't see it. So I know we spent a little bit more time on Klay than we wanted to, but
don't keep dropping stuff about the Wizards like this, man. We can't
I'm
have
just
Wizards.
saying.
We can't have because you're giving like it's almost like you should have a wall up and everything pre last year from being on should exist on the other side of the wall. And like this is just we're in a new country now. You know what I'm saying? It's like when Germany knocked down the wall, like we're in a new Germany now. It's not East Germany and West Germany. You know what I'm saying? Like we're in a new Wizards dimension. And you got to accept this. Like we're going to actually make smart basketball decisions, i.e., the Denny Avdia trade. So like, let them. I know the past is bad. I was there with you. You know what I'm saying? But we walking in some new stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like we getting to turn that back. You know what I'm saying? As long as we live. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
No, I'm with you. But even in Germany, when you knock down the wall, you still walk around Germany and it's reminders whatever happened. So it's hard, even when you knock down the wall, it's just hard to get that wizardom, that boule off you. It's such a stench. And you see what's going on now, and you're just sitting back. And unfortunately, if you're a fan of this team, I know I speak for myself, you're just waiting for something to go wrong. You're just waiting for them to, we accidentally set the arena on fire. We'll be playing at the Sports and Learning Complex, and we'll upcharge the tickets, and that whole 9 yards. But I feel you, man. Right. I gotta.
No. You know what the Wizards gonna play?
Change your mindset.
They gonna play at McDonough because that's where KG wants everybody to play.
Why?
Get him, KG.
Why?
What?
Because
that nugget you dropped. Like, I know you. Are you like Woj now? Is that a Kev bomb?
What you mean?
Like when you drop nuggets, do we have to do like a fake explosion? Boom! Kev bomb.
I didn't even know I dropped the nugget. I was just talking.
Oh, okay. Look at you. I tell you, boy.
Don't nobody else get a segment on here until the Dom make me a segment. Do we understand? I'm a founding father and I don't have a segment on it. I don't have a special anything. Don, we gonna talk, baby.
Sam said someone's been watching Saving Private Ryan. Oof, not Berlin. Matty Ice now. No, it's the building holding all the teams. It was a good idea, y'all. It was a great idea. It's been done before. It can happen.
Well, I think there's too many other shooters out there for, to give Clay a tougher time if he wants to catch on with someone else. Malik Beasley's out there, Luke Kennard. Both of those are sub 43% shooters. I'm sorry, over 43% shooters. I think Clay's just on his way out, man. I think that would be his best move. Take your rings and your career and be done with it. I don't think he's going to be happy if he goes elsewhere.
Well,
yeah, he's not going to. It's not Golden State anymore.
His dad wants him to go to the Lakers because his dad said I tried to make him a Laker from the get-go.
Yeah, he did. I heard that too.
Do we can we go into the Pistons news that's dropping?
Oh, with JB Bickerstaff becoming their new head coach.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that right?
I feel sorry.
Yeah, I mean, surprising, but not much so. The question is, how long are they going to give him?
2 years. That's about it.
Yeah,
I think they have one of the worst rosters in the league in terms of. I think there's so many young guys that they just have so many bad habits that Cade Cunningham should be way better than what he is right now. The kid Ivy from Notre Dame should be better. And it's just like they're just scuffling in this rut and they don't know how to get out of it. And they got to find somebody to be their messiah, to be their savior and help fix the ship and get the ship right. Because they got talent. It's just they don't play as a team.
Yeah.
They play like I give an example. I always used to tell my kids, like, sometimes when you play basketball, it's 5 of you on the court. If you play like 5 individuals, the worst you can do is slap somebody. Now I know we done seen all the slap things, and it could be, it could be dangerous, but it's still not as powerful if we all work together, form a fist, and we hit somebody. That there's a difference there.
See, you see how Midnight Rider dropping those on the Sunday service? That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Try to get
That's what I'm talking about.
around.
Nah, you're 100% right, man. It's like it's just too much talent, and I'm just afraid that he's gonna go in there and get the foundation to settle. They laid the foundation, the concrete ain't drying, right? If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna start getting it to settle, dry a little bit, and they're gonna fire him and bring somebody else in. The team lacks structure. Just like a team we talked about for the past 20 years, the Wizards. They lack structure, they lack discipline from top to bottom, and not just on the court. I'm talking about organizational wise, head down. That's the finished product on the court of a undisciplined organization. And if bad boy Pistons, you remember all that. It's just crazy to see that fall. So they got a lot of work to do.
Here's something about NBA free agency that I don't understand. I'm looking at the people that's opting in, and Patrick Williams opted in, and he's opting in for $90 million. And I'm like, what did Patrick Williams do to deserve $90 million?
Basketball is going to have to get to a point. They're going to have to blow up their pay structure. Because they're bringing in so much money that anybody and everybody's getting
mega deals.
Money. Yeah, mega deals. Like everybody's a max. Like, don't some of these dudes need a minimum? Like you can't give everybody a max deal. Like Jesus, they're gonna have KG trying to go out and play again, tape it up and everything. We're gonna see KG out there with 2 knee pads.
I don't wear knee pads.
You would, because they're gonna send you the special Patrick Ewing edition.
No, I just sent y'all something on Instagram when I was talking about. I said I don't respect dudes that wear pads playing pickup. Like I'm talking about the padded shirts and the padded shorts. I don't respect dudes like that. Like if you can't handle a little bump, don't come out here.
We talked about that the other day. No blood, no foul.
Hey man, but you gotta. I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I'm gonna jump on the other side of the fence. You got tender 40 and 50 and 60-year-olds out here. You can't take them bruises and bumps because you step on the court. If you're playing pickup ball, and you can, let's say 43, like I mean, you're not playing just against 43. You're playing against 15-year-olds that are way quicker, stronger, faster than you. Your reaction time ain't the same. You can't take them elbows in the rib cage and stuff anymore. I'm just saying, man, a little padding, around the ribs, maybe a cup. You can't.
Let me say this. We were the 14, 15, 16-year-olds playing with grown men.
Yep.
You knew if you got a little too aggressive playing with grown men, the first time you get aggressive, all right now. Second time, watch them elbows. The third time, he's gonna punch you in the throat.
You stole.
And I warned you. And what you gonna do about it? It's nothing you can do. And nobody else going, hey, he told you watch the elbows. I'm just saying.
That's how it went.
I'm not worried about none of that. Not at all.
No, that's how it went around my way. And like I say, I stopped playing pickup ball at 38, I think, after my first back surgery. But the youngins kind of made me want to get away from the court a little bit. You had them all out there trying to cross somebody over. And, I'm talking early 2000s. All it was about was the crossover and taking them to the hole and no passing. Youngins undercutting me. I didn't like playing with the youngins, and they cried too much anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Matty Ice said, I'm short, old, and fat, and haven't made a jumper since my college days, but could get a max deal in the NBA.
They just need warm. They just need warm bodies at this point. That's what it seemed like. Because
it does. And this all comes from the Alonzo Mourning back in the day, the first $100 million deal. And I started thinking to myself, what is this? guys soon going to be making 200-300 million, and I'm seeing that, and then 750 with Otani. What is going on? It's just outrageous. $5 million a year would take care of any of those dudes. Where is this 10, 20, 30 million a year coming from, man? It's just too much.
Guys that would normally get maybe a mil, maybe a 5-year deal worth 7.5 million is getting 90 million.
No
And I
doubt.
understand inflation, but I'm like, yeah, you're not worth 90 million. Next thing you know, you're gonna have a guy that's the 7th, 8th guy on the bench, and he's making over 100 million. You
That'll
think
be
you're
Bronny
doing
soon. That'll be
That's
Bronny
why
soon.
we pay $15 for a beer and $10 for a hot dog.
That's why they're getting 76 or 7 or 6 billion in their new TV deal.
Billion.
Yeah, so the money's just there. What do we think about the Pelicans? And this is probably more of a Jack question than anybody else. But Brandon Ingram, with the Pelicans, and the Pelicans are actually talking like they're actually not going to pay him. This is a first where somebody's actually not going to get paid. Do we think he has a market? Do we know where he's going? That type of thing.
Ingram's definitely got a market. I didn't hear anything about New Orleans not paying him.
Yeah, they're talking. They're having conversations right now where they're not thinking about paying him long term.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not going to offer him the max.
But he's still got a.
There's been some slimy news coming out. Yeah, it's been.
He's still got time left, though, right? He's still got 2 years, don't he?
No, I think he's up for an extension. So this is the time where they're going to basically try to get off of his deal. He's one of the guys that they've been rumored to be trying to get moved this all season. He's in that group with. So I don't think they have to do it, but he has that option right now where he can sign that extension, and get more money, but they're not offering him that extension. So which normally that translates into you gotta trade me.
Who did they just pick up in free agency?
They picked up a wing. I'll look it up.
They just picked up somebody solid I thought was really going to help out. And I thought they'd be getting rid of McCollum.
Deontay
Yeah,
Murray.
they got D. Murray from Atlanta.
Yeah.
He's going to be a good key to that. And he would open up things for Ingram because Murray can't set up and spot that three, or he can give you that pump fake and go to the hole. I think they should keep Ingram. I don't understand why New Orleans would want to break that up. They're just starting to have. He's only had 1 year with Zion, really.
You're gonna have a lot of horses at the trough. You're gonna have Murray. You're gonna have what's the kid that they got from McCollum? You're gonna have him. You have Zion. You're gonna have Ingram. I mean, you're getting to a point where it's like you got to make it work. You got to start opening up some lanes and giving people some options. So I think he's the odd man out because I don't think like you can't be New Orleans, have that full-fledged celebration when Zion got drafted, and then try to move off of Zion like in the next 2 years. Like you got to figure it out. I don't know if that means you got to bring more porn stars in for him, get him some beignets or what, but you got to do something to keep Zion happy.
Well, I think McCollum. Too inconsistent. McCollum is too inconsistent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lost me quite a few parlays. And Valcelonis, he's free agent too.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying he's a big man on campus or nothing, but he's a key to that the way they're running that offense now. Maybe if they get more 3-pointers, they wouldn't have Valcelonis as much. But I think Brandon Ingram could pick up with most teams in the league and pick up where he left off in New Orleans. So Brandon don't have no problem scoring. Brandon needs to play a little better defense.
That's it.
Ain't that all of them?
You score 30, you give up 35.
Yeah.
Good night. Not 190 million. Ding.
Fries are done.
You talk about porn stars for Zion. Can he get something that's actually built properly and not badly built like the last one?
Hey, you just gotta just pump them through this. It's like for real. I think Tiger Woods need to go to Perkins and find him something there so he can get his game back. You know what I'm saying?
you needed.
Go to IHOP, Waffle House. I don't know what it is, but we gotta get the regular Tiger back. I keep saying he lose 10 pounds. Maybe he just need to find him that wrong chick. You know, maybe he need to go to Congress Heights and get him something from there. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
you see what that
Speaking
did
of
with
Tiger.
Jordan Poole.
Speaking of Tiger, I have two guys on here. I want to ask y'all a question. I just real quick. I want to learn how to play golf. Where am I going? Where am I starting?
He's just
County
we're
course.
in Laurel, right?
Yeah.
So, and I don't know what they have in Laurel, but there's a spot in Columbia.
Powder Mill.
Huh?
He can go to Powder Mill right there, or Powder Mill Road.
Right, but but there's a spot in Columbia where they actually have there's a golf used golf club spot
Oh yeah,
or golf place, and he can go in there,
play it against sports.
get him a set, and he can probably buy lessons there because they have simulators.
Oh,
That's where I would start you at.
Okay.
Because you're in Laurel. If you were in DC, I would just say go down to East Potomac. They have sessions there where they do a series it's either Monday or Tuesday at like 7 p.m. They do a lesson for players trying to learn how to play golf.
Okay.
And then what I would recommend for you is when you start playing, you want to play 9 holes. Maybe start with some par 3s and then work your way up.
driving range.
Yep. I mean, driving range helps, but you're never the same person when you leave.
Nah.
On the driving range. Oh, you like Tiger.
You
On
got
the driving
repetition to
range.
correct stuff, and then
and then when you get in the course, you like Tito Woods. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a whole different thing. Like golf is one of those sports. I call golf a stripper. Like they're gonna always give you that one moment that's gonna make you feel special. When you leave, you're gonna come back again. Like I hit a shot, I'll never forget. I hit a shot we were in Falls Church. I was behind this row of bushes, and I had to hit over the bushes to get onto the green. I laid the shot. I hit the shot. When I hit it, I knew it was good because I had watched all week. I had been watching this particular golfer with this shot. I was like, I got it. Hit it, boom. Within 2 feet of the cup. I'm coming back next week. I'll be here next week.
you walk
That's
around
not golf
pounding your chest.
Yes. Golf
I
makes
know the feeling.
you that way. No matter how bad you play. You just get that one shining moment.
But even on a bad day on a golf course, man, if you got good weather, you're driving around a golf cart, having cocktails, what can be so bad about that?
Yeah, it's definitely something. I've been trying to, and KG noticed. I've been trying to get myself some lessons and learn for a while now. But I think I'm gonna make that move this summer and just start somewhere, get some lessons. You see, obviously Brian Jr. Joining us, but get some lessons and then just slowly work myself. Me and KG talked about just not having to put together a whole ensemble of golf clubs, just getting what you need cheap.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Up.
You go to one of these one of these used places where you can get clubs. You can probably spend right around $250. Get some clubs and get you started. All you want is a starter set.
Yeah.
Because right now you don't want to have Callaway clubs and a what's that cheap set of clubs? A Jack Hagen game. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want the clubs to be too good right now because you're not sure if you're gonna play enough. So you want to get you just a quality used set, and get started that way.
And then, golf is all year round.
Yeah, you can go.
It can be.
It's up to you.
On the weather.
It's up to you how much you want to play. Like you can play in 40-degree weather if you want. Not a lot of golfers is going to do it, but you can do it if you want to.
And Langston's always open.
Yeah,
that's actually a great place all the time. I've played Langston twice. I love Langston. But again, like a lot of these courses, if you do their 9-hole, get started and like just get in the preparation, then you'll be okay.
Sounds good. Thank you,
Yeah.
gentlemen.
It's you know, you get your starter set. I recommend Play It Again Sports. That's where I got mine at. I got a used set of pings. I think they were I2s, ping I2s. And then I bought probably half a 5-gallon bucket full of used balls because I wasn't putting that big coin out on them sleeves of balls first.
Okay.
Mhm. So I used to use Mojo golf balls when I played.
Yeah.
And I used to love because what I would do is when you tee up, I'd have the Mojo looking up at me. That was like my thing. Like for me, golf is kind of like baseball, where you have certain things in your mind.
Yes.
Like you got to see certain things, and like that was one of my things.
Yeah, it's like being in the on deck circle too. You know, you're getting your practice swings on before each hole. You know, it's similar, and it can, you know, once you get hooked, it can get expensive.
Yes, indeed. So, like when I actually invested in my clubs, I went and got Adams irons because everybody told me Adams was the best set of irons. And I had all the tailor-made drivers, and then I also invested in a Redskins bag as my golf bag. Then that was $250. So I mean, I think I invested about $700.
You took a lot of crap for that bag, didn't you?
Not because I haven't played recently.
Oh, I used to have Redskin head covers. And man, you know how the Redskins been the past 25 years. So I had to hear every time you break your clubs out, Redskins, Redskins.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
I got new ones. I got tired of hearing that shit.
And I'd also recommend if you can, like, it's probably something we could do as a show. I don't know what our investment level is, but like some of these charity tournaments, where you play like a 4-man or something like that. That helps as well because now you're not playing your ball every time.
Mm-hmm.
You can just swing your club, and then we figure out who has the best shot, and then you go from there.
Yeah, best ball it's a fun way to play when you're not experienced.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, you could be out there fighting the woodchucks.
Exactly. Your ball goes 3 feet in front of you. You done swung. You got like a 135 swing. But the ball go 4 yards. So yeah,
you gotta drop them.
You gotta do that too.
Gotta hit it past a woman's tee box, and you gotta drop them.
Well, fellas, the state of American hoops. The Midnight Rider wanted to talk about that, and I
was trying to get EG. I was trying to get Edwin involved. He probably didn't see my message because he's always on the go. But the reason I wanted to talk about this is because we just watched 4 kids from France get drafted in the top 20 of this draft. We're watching basketball players at the age of 18, 19 get drafted, and like it's a big mystery. There was nothing definite that came out of this draft. And then from an American side, I mean, I think the highest American was the kid Shepard. He was 3, but he's just a shooter. Like, what are we doing? What is this specialized coaching that our kids get? This AAU system, is it really benefiting these kids? And are we putting the best product out there? Because I feel like we're not doing it the right way. I think we're spending too much time playing games, too much time on individualized training, and we're not growing our kids or showing them how to be a team. And that's why we have that's why we have the Detroit Pistons. You got 5 guys that just play their ball for them and don't know how to play ball for team. There's a lot of talented teams in this league if you just go off of pure ability, but because they can't play basketball the right way, they just don't have it. I mean, these guys now, they take their first 4-year contract. That's the developmental. They're developing. They're not contributing. Go ahead.
I think basketball, American hoops is fine. Like you said, AAU is bigger than it's ever been. It's bigger than it's ever been. I think what's crushing what people are seeing in draft with all the foreign players and the non-college players, the guys that went and played G League, got to do with the one and done. I think they're done with the one and done now. They would like to still be able to hop from high school. So instead of that, they're going to go ahead and play for G League Elite, or they're going to go ahead and play in Turkey for a year, and that's all they need is 1 year out of high school. And they can do all that without having to fake like they're studying or getting grades like they would have to do in college. So that's kind of what I thought about. I think they're done with the one and done now. They want it to go back to high school kids can go straight to the league, and I think that'd be a bad idea because there's many high school kids that did not get drafted and their career got ruined because of the high school, being able to jump out of high school. But I've noticed there's several kids that have gone overseas instead of going to college, going to these other leagues. So, I think American hoops is fine. It's the kids wanting to get paid sooner rather than later. My opinion.
I think that one of the problems is, and I'll compare it to, it's like the NIL of AAU hoops. If the coach is too tough on the kid's not playing, you take your ball and you leave.
Oh, yes, they do.
You take your ball and you leave, and we're all old enough. That's your character development. That's your, your discipline. That's, when you learn certain stuff, you might not be ready to play. But, and Lee Ice in the comments say we're training kids to get the bag. That's what, that's what everybody's kind of saying. And it's like all some of these parents see as dollar signs. They don't see I want my kid to be under a coach that can lead my kid, that has the same morals and values as I do, and can lead my kid, make him a better person, better man, teach him the fundamentals of the game. And then, and everybody's on different levels. You got your high-end AAU teams, you got your beginners. So, depending on where you fit in, but it's just right now, it's just like, I've been to, it's about looking good, it's basketball is last. That's how I feel. That's my opinion. Basketball is last to some of these kids and some of these parents. It's more about how, like Jack said, how can we get this bag as quickly as possible? Especially if you got a sixth grader that is sprouted up to 6'7". You know what I'm saying? Now you're the talk of the town. You're getting the attention. It's not, you're an anomaly. You're going to grab that attention. You're going to grab the scouts and stuff. But I don't know what. You want everybody to get paid. We've been harping on the college thing for a long time. If it's available, of course. But it's prices to pay when you start adding money to things. And I think you start seeing it, like the Midnight Rider said, the Detroit Pistons. that's your result right there. Nobody knows how to play together. Everybody's individual. Everybody's for self. And now when you draft a kid, and not everybody falls into this category. Some kids that are developmental develop way faster. In a year or two, you can start seeing like, okay, this kid got it. But then sometimes you got to wait to the fourth and fifth season if you're that patient. And a lot of teams aren't that patient. And then we've seen it the last 8-9 years here. You'll start seeing a kid or a player that fourth, fifth year really start kind of like shooting out of the gym a little bit. Instead of, the 30 years ago, your first 10 picks or whatever picks coming in and making an immediate impact is not like this draft. Like, who's coming in here to make an immediate impact right now? Like,
I think you got to go to 17. I think it's Dalton Connect. I think he's going to be the only guy
number
to
two
make an immediate impact.
But see,
I think
it's
Chase. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but you see, it's not just the player, because if you get drafted to Detroit, you're not making an immediate impact because it's so dysfunctional. You don't have you still have to line up and I'll bring my Eli Manning example. He balked and didn't want to go to San Diego for a reason. I'm not going to develop there. If you go someplace where it's a wasteland, that's gonna you're not going to develop. So not only does the player have to be ready, his ceiling has to be high, ready to learn and do everything else. You also have to have everything in place on that organization for that player to sky, like the Spurs. You know, if somebody goes to the Spurs, more than likely, Pop is going to get everything out of them they can. And I don't want to keep pouring acid on the Wizards, but Wizards of yesteryear, you know, if they go to Wizards, you're not going to hear from them no more. They're grooming them to be a role player on a championship team.
Yeah, because we're 8 years into Wizards role players being NBA champions.
Actually, longer than that into it. But here's the thing. I agree with what Lee Ice said. You know, we're training kids to get the bag. Agree with Matty Ice, starts at the youth level. I said this a long time ago, and a lot of people have heard what I said, and they kind of had something to say to me about it being, you know, a hater. But I think AAU ruined everything about basketball. Because when you used to play rec ball and you had your neighborhood rec, you played with the kids in your neighborhood. Then you went from playing rec ball to playing middle school ball together with another rec. And then y'all would play each other in the summers. Then you went from that to all playing together in high school. So you were groomed to play with these people for years if y'all stayed in the same neighborhood. Now it's, well, I can send my son to DC to play at this AAU here because he could play with his cousins and their friends and all that. And then they all play together, and it's no fundamentals being taught. It's basically go out there and win the game. Like you got the video with the third graders that was dancing and all that, and the little boy was telling the other kid he was too small when both of y'all 3 feet high.
Right.
But then when they came to DC, they got smashed. They got smashed 15-6. The first game, and the second game, they got smashed 41-6. But these kids, that right there, the showboating, I'm a dribble, I'm gonna cross you up, then I'm gonna bring it back, then I'm gonna try to cross you again, then I'm gonna bring it back. Like I seen the kid do that in an AAU game where he kept trying to cross dude. He had no handles whatsoever. Kept trying to cross dude, bring him back, cross him, and his man is walking along the baseline like, hey, you can dump it right here. It's an easy bucket. He's like, he pointing at the basket like I can lay it in. Nobody's on me. They're doubling you to get the ball from you. And he kept doing it, kept doing it, kept doing it. And then finally he just dribbled once and they picked his pocket and went the other way for two. This is, and you don't have a coach that says, okay, come here. You're going to sit right here beside me for the rest of the game. They too scared to do that now because you don't want to upset your quote unquote star player. They don't hold these kids accountable anymore. And then what happens is they go on to college and they wind up being a top recruit, and then the college coach doesn't hold them accountable. Then they get into the league and they can't even play in the league because damn, he was great in high school, great in college. Man, why can't he transition to the league? Because he doesn't know how to play the game.
And that's the impetus of us having this conversation, because I watched the Euro kids. Like when I watched Koulibaly last year, I saw he had a natural feel for basketball, and I was not worried about him being able to play. I just felt like there was the issue was giving them time and allowing him space to grow. And when I watch some of these American kids, I don't see that natural ability to adjust your game to what's going on around you. You know, so that's why I think the kids saw, and I think Risache, every time I say his name, Risache, I think about like Boomerang, and like he should be some Lady Eloise perfume. Like, ooh, new from Lady Eloise. Risache. My bad. I'm sorry.
It rolls off the tongue. I hear you.
But I think the kid's gonna be okay. I think those two guys they're gonna be the two guys that's gonna be fighting for Rookie of the Year. I'm gonna be biased with Dalton Knecht. I think the kid Castle and with the Spurs. I mean, we have some guys, but I think there's gonna be few and far between of them making immediate impact. Go ahead,
Yeah, I
man. You
think-
got a face.
No, because I'm looking at Matty Ice's comments. Starts at the youth level. Parents don't let him. A coach disciplines their star kid, and they just take him or her to the next team. But this is the interesting comment here, and when he gets on, he's going to have to elaborate on this. He says it's happening in youth hockey also.
Yeah, it's whatever sports you're playing
Youth
and you pay to
sports.
play, whether it's travel baseball, it's youth hockey, whether it's basketball. This isn't contingent to just basketball. America has. I just did this because the draft was last week, but we have a problem in youth sports. Period, and you're not allowed to coach the way you want to coach. Like there was an article or something where some lady was mad at Marshawn Lynch because he was cussing at the kids
Yes.
during a camp.
Yes.
Like there's like you got to let us. The problem is people will bring their kids to sports to find discipline, but when you engage and start disciplining, then they're not ready to allow you to discipline. Like you can't say, "Oh, I need somebody to help me discipline my child," and then get mad with the person that you pick starts disciplining your child. You can't have it both ways.
Truth.
And then we're not talking about all the failures that are going overseas too, because don't forget, you're sending a kid overseas away from his home. All right, and we know what the basketball part is, but now those are grown men over there.
The culture too.
Yeah, the culture. You have to learn a language. That goes back to discipline. If you're not disciplined enough here to play a game a certain way and listen to your coach, and now you're going over where people are fighting for roster spots, and you have a language barrier, and they don't, your mom ain't there, your dad ain't there, your uncle ain't there. That's a big, I don't even know if anybody's keeping that type of stats of who goes overseas, and you never hear from them again.
Yes. I was just thinking the same thing. There's a ton, I'm sure.
Ton. And that's that. I wish we had some stats on that, but maybe I'll look into that because somebody got to be keeping track of that. It's got to be I don't know what the percentage. I don't even want to guess what the percentage would be. Who's going over there to be successful, even if it's staying over there and playing and having a successful career over there, versus who comes back over here with their ass in their hand.
So I got a guy. KG's gonna love him because he went to Grambling State. He played for Eddie, but his son right now is in the midst of playing soccer. He's not quite in the what's the one that's here?
The MLS.
MLS. He's not there, but he's playing for a team under that, and he left home at like 14. And I would love to get him on, his dad at least, to kind of like have that conversation with him. I'm trying to see if he's available. And if he's available, then boss, we're gonna probably need to just build in some time on the back end of this so we can go longer than 120, or we just restart a whole different show with him if he's available. But yeah, it's amazing what he's told me about how his kid has lived in like Tennessee. I think he lives in Nashville the last couple of years, and the whole goal is for him to play professional soccer. So I would love to get that perspective, and I'm working on it right now. And even if I can't get him today, maybe we can get him next Sunday, and we do a show around it.
And Matty Ice said walking into a U8 half ice game, kid gets off the ice with a big smile, tell his mom that was so much fun. She says, but you didn't score. His smile left immediately. That's the problem. Yeah.
True that. I see that all the time. I see it all the time.
I'm glad that mom wasn't at Gonzaga basketball camp. That first week I played at, what was I? I think I was like 9 or 10. I went the first week, and I didn't score. And my coach was like, what are you doing? I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, you haven't scored all week. I was like, Coach, I've probably had 6 assists in every game we played. That's 12 points. I've probably had 6 offensive rebounds and 4 defensive rebounds and some points of this. So I'm contributing. Why do I have to score? He was like, what? You don't want to score? I was like, I am scoring. Every time I give the ball up to somebody, I'm scoring. It's just not me making the shot. And like when he heard that, he just stepped back and was like, you know what? Okay, kid. And he let me go the rest of the thing. I was like, I mean, I scored later on in the week, but it wasn't about me scoring. And like sometimes I think like your mentality is the thing too.
I tell you this, one of the greatest feelings in the world. You can have a bad game, you'd have missed every jumper in the game. You can't get nothing going down low, but when it's game point or the game's on the line, the ball comes to you and you hit that one shot. I don't care if I missed every shot. I could go 1 for 10, but that one shot that I hit won the game for the team. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Or that one block or that one steal. Like it's all that stuff. But let's stay away from. Cause I apologize because we started going into the shaking my fist at the cloud basketball.
Yeah, let me say one thing. Like I say, being a youth coach, Matty Ice is right. You know, there are so many parents like that. Kid comes off the field, happy as pie, ain't do a damn thing, but the parents got to let him know he didn't do a damn thing. You know, why? I tell a lot of my parents, if I'm not getting on them about something, I don't need you to get on them about something. You know, these kids, and they specialize in sports, playing baseball year round, basketball year round, football year round, whichever the sport is. I don't think that's good either. But I'm not sure how college coaches are now. I know 10, 15 years ago, college coaches wanted you playing multiple sports. They kept you on point, man. You work different parts of your skills through the sports that can help you in other sports, you know, like footwork and stuff like that, you know. So
that's the problem.
The same type of people
thinking you're going to make a Babe Ruth. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
No, you're not. You good. You good. Go.
I just get fed up on this when parents are like that with their kids. Whether they're going to be the next high school superstar or they're just going to play this game till they're 15 and got to stop. Let them just have fun. If they have a bad game, do not stomp on them, you know? So many times I see parents walking to the parking lot, kids' heads down. First of all, I think they got finished playing a game they love or like. Their head's always up afterwards until a parent says something or a grown-up says something.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible.
If you're in a youth 8 and under, 9 and under, right?
Definitely that age, yeah.
Right. The thing is, and don't get me wrong, every kid has different skill sets, and some are higher than others. But if you look on the sideline, and the most exciting part of the game for them is the snacks.
Yeah.
Okay, why are you yelling and screaming at these kids to score and do? They got the snacks, they got the orange, they got a bag of chips, a Capri Sun, and they got this big ass Kool-Aid smile on their face, and they talking to each other and they're engaging each other. This is the best part. And yeah, they go out here and have fun. But when you see that, how can you honestly look over there and say, oh my, you didn't score, you didn't do this? You're not letting them develop. You're not letting them be kids. And you get to 13 and over, that's when you get push a little bit. 13 and up, push a little bit. But you're going to, and I've experienced it. You got my daughter played 6 under soccer, and it's kids, it's parents, and they're yelling and mad that their kid didn't score, and we're gonna go here. I'm just like, there's 6. There's
okay.
5. What? Like we're in practice, and some of them don't even know which way to go.
Right.
So I apologize for this one, but Josh is playing.
No apologies.
No. Josh is playing. I think let's say it's 9 or 10 under soccer, right? So he's on the field. He's playing goalie. He gets in the game. He looks. He sees his mom. He sees me. I see the ball coming his way, and I'm looking at him like, "Look that way!
Right.
What are you doing?" The ball gets kicked. The ball hits him right in the nuts. He goes down in a heap. His mom is like, "Oh my gosh, my baby!" I am dying laughing. I am almost on the floor rolling because he got hit in the nuts. And he literally, after the play is over, and like I think they had a timeout or whatever, he comes over, "The ball hit me in the nuts, Mom." And I lost it. I was done. I was no longer a good parent at that point.
I got two things to say about that. Number one, B, 6U soccer. I've been there. It's like a swarm of bees. That's
Man.
all. That's all. There's no
Man.
structure. There's no lines. There's no
Nope.
nothing. It's just however many kids on the field chasing that ball at the same time. It's hilarious.
And it's the jackass music playing in your head while it's going on. That's what it is.
And then with Midnight Rider, my daughter played field hockey, and she wanted to be goalie at one point. And field hockey goalies, man, they got a whole bunch of padding on. So she gets all this equipment finally on. It's one of the smallest kids on the field. And she goes out there, and the same thing your boy did. She's cheesing, looking at us on the sideline, and the ball goes right by her first time. I'm like, come on, shorty. Yeah, you're not going to see who those superstars are at 6U or 8U age group. I like to go all the way up to 10U, really. I don't think you start pounding it into them until 12U.
Mhm.
You know, I think I told this story before. This is when Dario was playing football. And I used to ask his coaches after every practice, what do you need to work on? And they will always be real. They say, Dario can't be a power runner at running back. We need him to be fast. We need him to use his speed. He can't run everybody over. I said, okay, I'll stop showing him Earl Campbell highlights. And coach used to always look at me and he'd be like, why? I said, because Earl Campbell. He said, no, that's our brand. That's not the brand we need for him. I said, okay. They made it all the way to the championship game. And the whole team came out there. I had these kids. They had about 2 hours before they played. So I got them running around and I'm just keeping them loose. And I'm like, look, y'all not going to burn yourselves out, but I'm going to get y'all hyped up today. And they was super hyped. I mean, they was like, yeah, we're going to go in this thing. We're going to win this. I said, you know what you're going to do? I said, y'all going to go in there. Y'all going to shut these kids out. I said, all you got to score is 2. That's all you need. That's the bare bones minimum. You score safety. Get them backed up, score safety. Y'all got this game. We going to Florida, baby. All the kids like, oh, can we ride with you? Can we ride with you? We want to ride with you to Florida. I was like, man, I'll get a van big enough and we ride. I said, look, we'll get the portable TV. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Everything. They hype. Ready to go. The star player. He was the best player on the team. Good kid. Honor roll student. His dad comes in. I don't know what y'all hyped up for. Y'all going to lose anyway. Took the whole air out of their sails. And I'm like, dog, why would you say that? I said, these are kids. These are 9-year-old kids. Why would you say that? Because they some trash. It just got to be told. I said, man, I said, I don't understand what kind of parents you are, dog.
Trash.
Trash.
I said, I don't get it. I said, if my kids wasn't out here, I'd knock you the fuck out.
I see it all the time.
But he was just so adamant about it. He was like, man, my son ain't playing for this team next year. I said, man, your son didn't need to show up today for real. I said, because last time your son didn't show up, they won. So, and Matty Ice said something about officials. It's the same reason why leagues are hurting for officials. Parents are screaming at officials just out of control.
Mm-hmm.
Some won't have any officials. 80% of my parent ejections are parents yelling at my junior partner, and I'm not having it. I've only got into it with an official one time.
So that's all right. So now that's the background. Matty Ice just broke the fourth wall because that's the reason I always joke with him about his ejections, because I know that's out there. That's all.
Only time I've ever gotten into it with an official. It was a championship, same championship game. I was holding the markers, the field markers. I was holding the first down marker. and I'm watching as Dario go through the hole, and this kid is bear hugging Dario. Like on defense, he's bear hugging him and then falling on him. And I was like, you're not gonna call holding there? I said, he didn't held him 3 plays in a row, and they didn't picked up a first down 3 times. Like, you're not gonna call holding? He ignored me. I said, okay. I'm just saying, hey, you're not gonna call holding. The other parents like, yeah, my kid's holding him. You're not gonna call that? Hey, both of y'all can leave. I said, yeah, we can leave, but when I leave, I'm gonna be waiting for you in the parking lot. And I said, it's not gonna be pretty.
Good God. Hey, let's let B do anything, talk about anything before he gotta get out of here. Because I know it's close to work time for him.
I just want to, before I leave, Tim Hardaway Jr. basically laid an egg in the finals, right? And his father said something about him, and Dallas is like, peace, both of y'all. Y'all go complain over there. You go lay an egg over there. And this is what I be saying. When you building a team and you're a GM, if you lost a certain way, it's different when you're building a team and you're bossing. Even bossing, let go of some pieces and put some pieces back in, trying to make things work. It is insanity to come to the next season with the same roster you lost with and expect different results. That's all I say. I say it all the time. It's insanity. All right? Things got to move. You got to think as a GM sometime, as a business, and, you know, I can see if Tim Hardaway Jr. lit it up, he did. But that's all I got to say. Gentlemen, it was a pleasure. I got to scramble. I got to go to work, unfortunately. Keep the collection plate passed around. Make sure my 24 karat gold collection plate come back to me. Okay?
Before you go, can we get an extension? Because we're going to be beyond that 120 mark. Because we ain't even got to nothing that we supposed to get to.
Well, we only got 2 topics left. We can make it in between that.
KG,
what?
Don't do that, KG. Don't see.
What? Did
KG,
he just say that?
No, he didn't say that. You didn't hear him say that. B, listen to me. I'm the voice of reason. I'm the voice of reason on this show. We need past 120.
I got the check right here. I was about to write the check for a 2-hour show.
I need past 120.
You got it. Past 120, you got it.
All right, cool.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. I'm in shock. I might call out from work. I need time to recover from that.
Oh, man.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, man.
You have a good day.
All right,
Peace.
Next topic up. So the Midnight Rider don't get upset.
There we go. Woo! Oh, freedom.
Dickie V has announced that his cancer has returned for the 4th time.
Damn.
So he's getting ready to go through treatments for that. They did a biopsy Monday or Tuesday. You know, I follow him on social media heavy. And I'm not gonna lie about it. I was a little emotional when he said that it had came back after visiting a doctor. And I was talking to B, and I said, I don't understand, you know, why it keeps coming back. He'll go into remission for a couple of months, and then all of a sudden something else comes back. And I say the same thing, man. How much more can he take?
Right.
And it's sad to see, but like one of the premier voices in college basketball, primetime player, diaper dandy, like, you know, not to mention, good. Not to mention the March Madness games where he was the commentator, with him and Brad Nessler being the commentator on the March Madness games. Absolutely beautiful. But we're at this point now. It's just like, God, what else can be done? And you hate to see somebody go through it. I hate cancer. I hate it with a passion, any kind. So I just wanted to throw some prayers up for Dickie V. You gentlemen got anything?
Yeah, I hate to hear that, man. And I hate to say it don't sound good for Dickie, man. I mean, cancer's been terrible to my family. I watched my father deal with it. He went in for what's it called? Bladder stones.
Gallstones.
Gallstones. Went in for gallstones. They scanned them and said, "Oh man, we found a lot of masses." And then they found the masses and said, "Yeah, we got to make them comfortable." What do you mean make them? They started making him comfortable as soon as they found out he had cancer. You know, and they pump him full of the drugs, and soon he didn't even know who I was. And then I seen him take his last breath. That cancer is vicious, and when it comes and returns and comes and returns, you didn't get dealt a good hand this time, man. It's not good. Cancer's not good. And to be without Dickie V, I know it's got to happen eventually. I was so happy and emotional to see him back last year, but this don't sound like good news, guys.
I don't know how I want to answer this question.
I'm holding the waterworks back. Believe me.
No, and I totally understand all of that, but I just
here, man.
Don't understand our lack of, as a country, we've allowed big pharmacy to kidnap, hold hostage cures and things for people, and I get frustrated, man. I knew back in the day, and this is I'm a harp on every time we talk about it, because I did a paper as an 8th grader 30, 40 years ago on stem cell and stem cell recovery. And for the fact that we're not using it instead of chemotherapy, instead of some of these other programs that we have, it's only because of greed. And I get frustrated watching people. I watched my buddy, Dirk had cancer or was diagnosed with cancer like in July. And I think he ended up in June, and he ended up dying like 2 months later. And the way the chemo affected his body and tore him down, like nobody should have to go through that. Nobody should have to deal with that. And that's the key, or the thing that's like, oh, this is how we do this. No, we got to have other options. And it's like, we'll take like letting someone just go because the money isn't right. We're so greedy for money that we don't operate in the other cures, the other things, and the country allows it. You know, like there's certain things that I think we should have in place. Like I think we should have age limits for Congress. We should have age limits for the Supreme Court, because what can this old person what can they do to transition or be innovative enough to take us to the next level? They can't. And what we're doing is we're allowing old farts to run the rules of this country and set up the way this country is going to live. And they're 70, they're 75. You shouldn't be able to be in Congress after 70 years old. I'm sorry. Because you can't be innovative enough to move this country forward. We got 2 70-year-olds fighting for presidency. And I'm not trying to be political, but I get frustrated because we're operating backwards. Everything else in this world we do is Gen X, Gen Z, Gen Elemental P. I don't know. We got 800. I mean, we got 57 genders, but we can't get right the basic stuff to keep people alive. And we're not keeping the people alive because we don't want to. I'm gonna be honest with it. That's what it is. That's what COVID was. COVID wasn't because, you know, it was this great disaster. Because if it wasn't, some dude wouldn't have called me 14 days later. It was like, hey, how you feel? I'm like, I'm good. He like, all right, go back to work. I go, what? Excuse my language. I didn't mean this bad. I apologize. But you know where I'm going. I'm sorry. I got too caught up in the emotions. But like, you can't tell me I can go back to work after what I'm perceiving as the most dangerous disease in the world, and you're like, oh yeah, you're good. I can't be good. Like, there's got to be some other way. And I just think we manage medicine the wrong way. And I'll get off my soapbox. I apologize. I wasn't even supposed to have this emotional response to Dickie V, but I did because I just feel like the world we live in doesn't take our lives seriously enough to give us the best options.
It's funny you say that because I had an emotional reaction to it. And like Jax, like he said, cancer has been it's
Yeah.
devastated my family. Like my grandmother, my
Yeah, me
godmother,
too.
and my aunt all survived breast cancer. All survived breast cancer. And what's crazy is I watched my uncle go through it. My uncle went through it silently. But I had two uncles go through, three uncles go through cancer silently. We didn't even know they had cancer till they passed. They didn't
Right.
say anything. They kept it to themselves. And seeing what cancer does to the body, man, it's just it's devastating. It hurts. I'm being honest. But geez, man, it's like being such a big Dickie V guy. Like I'm talking pretty much he's been doing this he's been doing this since 79. So well over 40 years. And we had to do without him for a little while. So hopefully this is one of those ones where they can find it. He can go through the chemo. He keeps his voice and everything, and he's able to get back out there this upcoming season. But it's tough, man. It's
Chemo's tough on a person of that age too.
Yeah.
That was with my father at his age. They said they don't think he's in as good enough health to do chemo.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't even do it. And they did the same thing with my mother this past year. They said they didn't want to do chemo, but they removed it surgically. She had breast cancer. And so far, she's still clean. My sister's survived breast cancer. It's been about 4 years now for her. She went through the chemo and the radiation. She's a trooper, man. I tell you, I'd have crawled in a hole.
And then the thing that we also got to think about is like the ulterior stresses that these people go through, like if they're dealing with somebody else's death, it's other things that end up making that cancer come back and affecting people. I know for my mom, it was my grandfather's passing that brought hers back. And it's just hard, man. It's like we're talking 30 years ago, and we're still as men, as people, dealing with like losing people because of this thing called cancer.
Yeah,
let's segue out of this.
Yeah, I don't even want to say what I was getting ready to say. Good call. That's next.
What was that? Friday night, John Anderson of ESPN did his final Sports Center after 25 years. Not leaving ESPN, just not doing Sports Center anymore. Steve Levy came over and he did the final Sports Center together, and it was absolutely awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I know everybody doesn't watch Sports Center the way they used to because of the way things have changed, but I will say the 11 p.m. Sports Center is the best one of the day now. And whichever one Linda Cohn's on, because if Linda Cohn's on Sports Center, I'm great.
Okay.
I like the Van Pelt one.
Yeah, that's the one I like.
Yeah, that's the late night. That's 11 p.m.
That's the 11. Yeah, that's the one.
If you give me Scott Van Pelt, I'm good. And I know we're in heavy shaking fists at the cloud, but I'm Scott Van Pelt all day long. What's his name? Buchagras and like Nicole and company like that. I can do them. I'm struggling with the new people, but I mean, like I remember college days. It was literally you wake up, ESPN's on the TV, you getting ready, you going to class, or if ESPN is really good, you gotta change your like you're not going to class, you're sitting there and watching the next episode. You know what I'm saying? I've missed many classes because of the Sports Center. it was just one of those things, man. It was a cultural thing for us. If you grew up in the 90s and you don't have a moment with Sports Center, like whether it's not Butcher Grass, whether it's Stuart Scott, whether it's well, Van Pelt wouldn't have been in that era. It would have been Dan Patrick, Craig Casillas, all these guys that shaped our way of watching sports.
Chris Berman.
Chris Berman.
Bowman. That was my guy.
Don't forget Tom Jackson, man. And
Yeah.
that was a different beast on Sunday nights, man.
Nobody did baseball.
And like think about that. We had something that had defined football on Sundays. Like you had to watch that highlight package. Whether it was and then on Monday night, the best 3 minutes in sports. Come on, man. Like we had it good. I don't know if we can duplicate it ever again, but we had it good.
You know what I always say? Once upon a time, we lived like kings.
Yeah, that's probably the best saying for it. Like now we just have to deal with the world changing on us because, again, like I always tell y'all, we in that bracket. There's 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, the three of us, well, KG's not there maybe yet, but we're in that fourth. Me and Jack are in that fourth. KG might be holding on to the tail end of that third age bracket.
Barely.
Yeah, exactly.
Matty Ice said, need a segue. Rights to Jake Gensel were traded from Carolina to Tampa. Appears he will be a Tampa Bay Lightning after the cap space they opened yesterday.
That's a great segue. Because I think the kid is a scorer. I think we have an option. Well, not have an option, but I think Tampa Bay, if Stamkos stays, like they can probably make another run. They have another run in them. So I asked Matt to drop that in the thing, and I love how Matty has the timing to know when to drop things, because we've gotten off course.
Hey man, you got to reel it back in sometimes.
Yeah, man.
I just you going back to ESPN, you know, the days of Stuart Scott, like ESPN in the off season on, and when I say off season, I mean no football, no basketball. You may got some baseball, but baseball don't come on until later on. And you had John Saunders on Saturdays for college football on ABC. That's what I live for. Because if Notre Dame wasn't playing that week, I'm watching whatever ABC game they got on. So I'm down with that. But Notre Dame.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Are you ready for the new college landscape?
No.
Because CBS no longer has the SEC. I think CBS has the Big Ten now. So that show that used to be Vern Lundquist and company, instead of them talking about being in not Coral Gables, but being in Gainesville at the Swamp, instead of being at Mississippi for Ole Miss, instead of being at Alabama for Alabama and whomever, we gonna hear them talking about USC at UCLA for the Big Ten. We're gonna hear about UCLA versus Ohio State. We're gonna hear about Maryland versus USC.
Yeah.
The landscape of college football has changed so dramatically that I think, and I said this the other night, I think the fact that we had the College World Series for baseball with 2 conferences being represented is like the precipice of what we're about to walk into. Because this top 12 for college football playoffs is going to be totally different. You know, we're talking about schools like Texas, and another conference. It's going to be wild, man. The fact that the Pac-12 only has 2 teams in it, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he from all he had to do was sign the deal for $50 million, and the Pac-12 stays the Pac-12, but he wanted more. Like, it's just so many stupid
Greed.
things. So many stupid things, man.
And it all leads back to greed.
Yes, it does.
It's just point simple.
Matty Ice said Stuart Scott was my top one. He was cooler than the other side of the pillow. Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
Him and Kenny Mayne, man.
That's
This
why
one right here, I love this one. I
Oh,
smell a list.
Lord.
Top 5 ESPN Sports Center hosts. I smell a list.
It can't be Tuesday. It gotta be Thursday because I can't get out of work Tuesday. I know for
Well,
a
it can't
fact.
be Thursday. Thursday a holiday.
No, maybe we do a Wednesday show or a Friday show. We do something special.
Maybe we do a
If we can't do
firecracker
that, then we do it
special.
Sunday.
Yeah, firecracker special.
We'll figure it
Okay.
out.
I can do that. Midnight Rider, you said Wimbledon started.
Yeah, Wimbledon is about to start up. Novak Djokovic is trying to get his knee. I don't think he's going to be able to play, to be honest with you. And if he does play, say again.
I thought he's already committed to fully playing. What do you mean? Not being able to continue once he starts?
I just watched him. I just watched him like either work out or warm up, and I just didn't see the movement skills.
Okay.
So I just think it's a thing where his heart is in it, but his knee may not be in it. So I know he's going to give it a try. But Wimbledon's coming up, and you know, on the ladies' side, you got Coco Gauff, possibly, you know, getting to the final. I think she could get to the finals in this, because she's such a Williams fan. I think her game plays like the Williams sisters, and she can get to a finals at Wimbledon, because of the grass play. And then on the men's, I know I'm already setting myself up for failure because the big enigma that is Gael Monfils will present itself and he'll lose before the quarters, and I'll get frustrated again, and it's all my fault because I shouldn't put any stock in Gael Monfils being a great player in this tournament or any tournament because he likes the highlights too much. But it's gonna be interesting to see who comes from the men's side because you don't have Rafael, you don't have I'm not putting Djokovic in the category, so I think we're gonna have somebody else as a winner, and I'm just curious because I think this might be, and Jack, anybody else that can correct me, I think Andy Murray's on his last Wimbledon, so we're getting to a point where like we're gonna have somebody new, somebody's gonna set the standard. And I don't think it's going to be our guy Carlos that won the French. I don't think this is his surface.
Well, this is first Wimbledon in a while that Djokovic hasn't been the favorite.
Right.
And first Wimbledon since '96 that there hasn't been a Williams sister in it.
Yep.
So yeah, look at that time there, man. And who was it? Murray, I think I'd worry about him not making it through or pulling out early due to his injury than Djokovic. I think Djokovic can win it. And if he wins it, he will have the most Wimbledon titles, men's.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm rooting for the man. I like him. I like the way he plays. Hits that ball hard.
Matty Ice say heading out. Have a good day, Matty.
Good Sunday, man.
Enjoy yourself. Enjoy Sunday.
All right. So the next. Go ahead.
Good. No, I was saying I got to come to you guys to come to tennis because I know nothing about tennis anymore.
So it's funny because I got into tennis because I like competition. I like competition at the highest level. And so there were many those Sunday mornings or those Saturday mornings where you wake up and you got the French Open and it's Agassi and whoever. You got Ivan Lendl and you got Chris Evert versus Martina Navratilova. You got Arantxa Sanchez playing somebody. It was just I have this addiction to sports where I got to see the best at the highest level. And it may not be a thing for anybody else, but it's a thing for me. Like I gotta watch the players play, and that's how I think sports is just is the thing. You know, like I'll watch a Sunday morning the British Open. You know, I'll watch the French Open finals. I'll watch all that stuff just because I just like seeing competition. I like seeing the best.
Yeah, and playing in the best, most of those you mentioned, in the majors. I got into tennis. My Uncle Fred used to have a 4th of July party every year when we was kids, and they stayed right down there off Kenilworth Avenue near Fletcher's Field. And the tennis court was just to the left of my uncle's house.
Yep.
So he had 4 kids, all older than me, and they was competitive too. Brothers versus sisters, brothers versus brothers, whatever it was. If there was an argument, it was either settled by a race, a tennis match, who can throw the farthest. It was always settled like that. And my cousins would play each other in tennis right out there, and the family could sit on the front porch and watch the game. And that's how I got into tennis. And that was back in my days with Jimmy Connors. He was my guy.
Oh, man.
Couldn't stand John McEnroe. I love Jimmy Connors.
No, I totally agree with you. I mean, I wasn't a McEnroe guy. I wasn't a Connors guy. I was just like one of those guys that just liked somebody, because at that time it was like Becker, it was Lindell, it was McEnroe. We had a bunch of guys just being guys.
Big bushy haired guy. Who's that bushy head?
Yannick Noah. You had a little bit of everybody, man.
Yeah.
Not bad, KG.
Quickly, Midnight Rider. You talking about James Woods of the Nationals?
Here we go. The future. The future is here. I don't know. It's like the mothership. You know how you talk about the mothership has landed or is coming into play, and we got to get on the mothership. Well, when it comes to the future of the Nats, this is the first leg of the future. This is probably the George Benson of the future of the Nats. James Wood is getting called up Monday, and everybody is asked the question, why did they wait till Monday? Why not?
Money.
Say it again, Jack.
It's the money.
Exactly. It must be the money.
Not about the player.
Nah. And it's the right timing. They told you enough time ahead, so this can be. It'll never be Strasman's. Nothing the Nats have ever done or will do will ever be as big as Strasman's. And if you don't know what Strasman's is, Strasman's was the day that Steven Strasman's debuted in the major leagues. I actually had posts where I was talking about, what do you get your friends for Strasman's Day?
That was July as well, wasn't it?
Huh?
That was July as well when they brought Strauss up, right?
And it was at the park, and the park was sold out. And I think he went 6 and gave you 10 strikeouts.
Pittsburgh Pirates, dude.
Yes,
I knew he was going to strike a bunch out.
Yes.
At the time, the Pirates were probably the most struck out team in the league.
And then you got Woods coming to DC as a DC kid, because I think he went to St. John's.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing his first game at home. Yeah, we gotta get take the S off of it. I think it's just James Wood. I apologize for the mistake on that. But he is. It's the next thing in place. This is our Bryce Harper, but I want people to be prepared, because I think he's represented by Scott Boras. And if he's represented by Boras, we got 6 years. So that might be part of the reason why we didn't get him earlier, because we want to have him for 6 years and not 5. Because then he'd be a Super 2 and all this other stuff. So I think that's part of the reason why it took him a little time. And it was actually convenient that he got a hamstring injury when he did, because that allowed them to save themselves some time also before starting the clock. Like they gave them baseball reasons not to start Sparks sooner than they probably wanted to. I
was getting ready to say that the hamstring came at the right time, and
yes,
he came back. He came back right on the same beat. He ain't missing the beat at all. What's he got? 51 games this year, 346 batting average, 10 home runs.
There you go.
He's playing some ball.
I really don't understand why he didn't make it out of. I think the only reason he didn't make it out of spring training with the team is because they had Winker, they had a couple other guys, and I think their goal was to try to move those guys for some kind of comeback in a trade. And I think if you move Winker, I think you have to move Winker because if you don't, then you can't bring up Cruz later on. I think your outfield for the future is Jacob Young, James Wood, and Dylan Cruz.
Wood going to be in center?
Huh?
Wood going to be in center?
Nah, Young plays center.
Okay, you put no Wood center fielder.
Woods in where's I think the best arm, and see then I'm kicking Lane Thomas out, and I ain't think about that. I think
he plays all three well.
I think you gotta move Lane, to be honest with you. I don't want to, but I think you gotta move him because I think Cruz is a better hitter and a better player all around than Lane. And you got Lane because you gave up John Lester in a trade. Like Mike Rizzo, we might have to have a conversation about GMs because between Mike Rizzo and Danny Ainge, I've never seen two GMs, and Jerry West. Those are three GMs. I've just, whenever they make a trade, you almost have to think about like what you're trading to them and what they want, because maybe it almost feels like you missed something in getting them to ask for a certain person.
Did he come from the Juan Soto trade? Is that how we got his pick, San Diego?
Yeah. So think about this. So San Diego, the reason, if you think about it, last week they had a issue with the Padres, where the Padres celebrated, put some stuff in it, like just over the top. But the Padres got to be upset. They got to be, because the Nats got Trey Turner from the Padres, and all they gave up was like their fourth outfielder in this deal. And somehow Trey Turner comes to them. They got Mackenzie Gore, CJ Abrams, you got James Wood, and you got the kid Jesus, I can't think of his last name, that throws 100 in like single A ball right now. So you got three guys that can be potential, actually three guys that are going to be major leaguers for Juan Soto trade. San Diego has to be sick at home. They got to be sick of this to their stomach, because they've provided us with great talent the last two times we've interacted. I'm sorry, guys.
And then Juan bounced. He didn't even re-up with San Diego.
They had to move on because they didn't have anything else left. Like
right.
Their farm system got burned, so they had to try to recover as much as they could. And unfortunately, they didn't do a good job of what they got back for him.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing about Juan Soto. My guy came to New York, and he started that 1-2 punch with Big Aaron Judge.
Oh boy!
So they saying they're putting them in the category of being on pace and on par right now as the first teammates. I think, what is it? 25 home runs in the first half of the season already.
20 and 60, I think.
They're comparing them to Gehrig and Ruth, the Eminem boys of the 61 season with Mano and Maris. And now we talking about Judge and Soto. We gotta get them a cool nickname, man. Because they doing it, and they're manufacturing runs the correct way.
Boy. Oh, that base running they did the other night was great. When Judge got in that rundown,
yep,
he was toast. They got him, and then he got in that rundown to score the man from third. I've done it several times when I played ball. Soto, good hustle on that play.
Yep. And B had to put the rolling eye emoji. Don't hate Cheese Toast.
I like Cheese Toast.
27-time world champion, and this cat always want to hate.
Oh boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end. If you are not,
are we missing a segment?
No, we rocked everything.
No, we didn't.
What we didn't rock?
Today's Sunday.
Oh shit!
Oh,
it is, man. We ain't gonna be able to. Big Dog ain't gonna get this episode.
You gotta do what you're cooking. Even though I ain't cooking shit, but I mean, we gotta put that segment in here. That's a Sunday staple.
Yeah. So let me get that right there. Ha 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 ha. Table 5. Sorry.
So yesterday was my better cooking day. Yesterday I grilled chicken strips, chopped them down, made chicken sliders with peppers, dropped some shredded lettuce on them, did a little garlic aioli. Yesterday was the best day for my cooking. Today, I'm probably eating like a 8-year-old. I'm probably gonna have some Purdue popcorn chicken, some fries. I'm not doing anything serious today. But yesterday was the day to catch me for what you cooking. What you cooking, Jack?
Yeah, same with me. Yesterday, I've been hinting to my wife I wanted some chicken parm.
Oh,
She breaded it up for me yesterday, baby boy. I had some more last night too. Midnight snack. That chicken parm, boy, that's my go-to on the Italian side. I don't know what we eating today, man. It's a group decision with me. It's not just I don't know what we eating.
he keeps looking off camera like he's
Because I'm looking at my wife outside. What we eating? She outside walking the dog. But
KG.
you know,
Yesterday had to be the day that everybody cooked because my wife cooked spaghetti yesterday.
right.
She cooked spaghetti, and I'm like, she had been saying she wanted to cook spaghetti for most of the week, and she got in there. What did I do? I think I went to go to the bathroom, and she was in the room, and then when I got out the bathroom, had already started cooking spaghetti. I'm like, what are you doing? Her and Xavier in the kitchen cooking spaghetti. I'm like, okay. So we got spaghetti that she only gonna let us eat on for 3 days, so I better get on it now.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
indeed. I mean, if you need help getting rid of spaghetti, you can always drop, a little tub over this way, because you ain't that far away, bro.
Ain't nothing but a word.
Yeah, if you know, I mean, I don't want to put you out your way, but if you got spaghetti to give away,
Look, put it this way:
okay.
She made so much spaghetti.
Well,
Dara and
it's
Xavier
four
went
y'all,
there.
right?
No,
You, Akash, Xavier. Oh, it's 5.
6.
Okay.
So
Actually, speaking of 6,
Yeah, mate, 2-3 boxes of spaghetti.
where's Meatloaf?
Meatloaf was at her aunt's house. I was hoping that she came over this morning because that's what I was looking for.
No,
I
we're
was
not talking
looking
about
for
the
her.
food, Jack. We're not talking about the food. We're talking
All
about
right.
what
Yeah, I don't like meatloaf, man.
Nah,
man.
you'll love when you meet
When you-
Meatloaf.
Man, we
No,
was
no,
poor.
Jack. We're talking about the food. We're talking about the kid.
Oh,
He has a grandchild nicknamed Meatloaf. She-
what?
Yeah.
She's the sweetest thing. Yeah.
It's a she.
Yeah, because I call her Meatloaf because I say your parents, the two things that your parents make the best. Her dad makes great tuna. Her mom makes great meatloaf, and I wasn't gonna call her tuna, so I just started calling her Meatloaf.
You
And
ain't gotta
she
be a
answered
rock
to it.
star to make tuna.
Yeah,
So
You
yeah,
want
to put
that's
that salt
how
and
we got the Meatloaf. I'm sorry, Jack.
I was trying to get her this morning.
I thought
But-
that's what y'all talking about.
Her parents are celebrating their birthday weekend, so she's with one of her aunts, and I was like, all right, maybe she'll come over today. I don't know, maybe we'll get a sighting or something. I may have to call her on the phone or something, see what she's doing.
Yeah, we gotta get on an episode soon.
I'll try to make that happen before the end of the week.
Hey, just so y'all know, Tuesday I'm probably out. So
We'll figure out something to do Tuesday. I'm
yeah,
sure
it might be-
we're gonna have something. NBA free agency starts tomorrow, so
I
it's
know.
gonna be something. It's gonna be something that has to be said because it's gonna be a
Dude.
lot of money tossed around.
Hold on, time out. I'm gonna point this out because a certain somebody called me this morning or texted me this morning at like 10:30 and was like, "You ain't up yet. You ain't." I was like, "Jack, don't worry about it. We'll be good." Now we're an hour and 40 minutes into a show that he was like, "Give me topics. I need topics." I'm like, "Jack, we good." You know how Kobe hit that shot against Indiana and he running the court and he doing the. That's how I was giving that to Jack. And you know, here's the funny thing.
I ain't hear nothing from nobody. It's 10:30. I was like, what's up?
We haven't touched the Olympics yet.
Yeah, no, there's a lot to talk about.
So we didn't talk about Jack's guy. I think his name is Quincy Wilson.
Oh, yes.
The
Quincy
kid
Wilson.
that's 16 years old that might make the Olympic team. He didn't qualify in the 400, but he still might make a relay team.
Yeah, he should find out something tonight. They said the decision should be made by this weekend. So
also on the women's side, we have the 2, the 4, and the 800 defending champions all didn't qualify for their events.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have new champions, in the 2, the 4, and the 8 for women. Noah Lyles did qualify for the 200 with the men's, and that's your broke down BC Midnight Rider Olympic report.
Yeah, look, you taking somebody's job. We have an Olympic correspondent.
I haven't seen her.
She asked, she said, when am I coming back? I was like, all right, we got to make time. I said,
Hey, Tuesday.
So Tuesday, that's it. I'll get
Have
her.
you, her, and Jack.
That'd be great.
BJ said we free ball a lot, Jack. We do. And Sam all said talked about every sport except bobsled. Not the day. We're talking about
maybe
bobsled.
Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, we're not close to winning Olympics, so why are we talking bobsledding?
You got to talk bobsled.
Got a point, though. Yeah.
But we got to get on up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining us. If you haven't, subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I know I'm interrupting you. I gotta give a shout out to Jack, because Jack made the dopest post the other day where he was like, if you aren't subscribing to us, you gotta click link, subscribe, like, and all of that. So I gotta give him a shout out for that.
I'm trying to put in work.
Yeah. And you've been on all this week.
I know, right?
Missed the day.
Yeah, I've been counting.
Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday.
Yeah. And then be back on Tuesday, man. We does this.
I enjoy it. And I'm glad you guys had me. Thank you.
Not a problem,
Thank you
man.
for being here, man. All right, now you can close this out.
All social media platforms. Make sure you like, subscribe, so you don't miss anything. So until Tuesday, that's the Gentleman Jack Carr. That's the Midnight Rider. I'm the big guy, KG. Can't say we don't do no overtime because, damn it, we did it. But we are out of here.